Okay, hi guys. So I just want to extend a little bit on what we were talking about the other day with gradient functions. So what we were talking about the other, I'll just go over it again quickly. So when we're looking at a gradient function, say we have the point 1, 1, and we've got our equation function is f of x equals x squared. And what we want to do is we want to find the gradient at that point. We can do that by approximating in this variable of plus h, where h is such a tiny number that it's practically 0. Okay, so when we're looking at this, we can pretty much just use our original gradient formula, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. We can substitute in, so our y2 is going to be 1 plus h squared. Our y1 is just going to be 1. That's coming from that value there. Our denominator, we're going to have x2, which is 1 plus h minus 1 again. Okay, if we expand this out, we can end up with 1 plus 2h plus h squared minus 1 over, and we should be able to see that this cancels, this 1 and this 1 cancels. What we're left with is h. We can then take away 1 from the numerator, and we're going to be left with 2h plus h squared over h. And from here, again, we can cancel out our h's. Once you've gotten rid of everything else, you're only left with h's, you should be able to cancel out that denominator. And what we're left with is 2 plus h. From this point onwards, we can take the limit as h approaches 0, because again, that's such a tiny number, and we're left with our gradient of 2. So what this is telling us is that when x equals 2, when x equals 1, our gradient equals 2. Okay, now instead of talking about the gradient, we can give this another term. We can say that this is f dash of 1. Okay, so our gradient or our derivative at x equals 1 is equal to 2. Okay, what we want to be able to do though is this only tells us our gradient or our derivative at that point 1. It doesn't let us find the gradient for any other point on our line. So what we can do if we want to find the gradient at any other point is we just have to make this a little bit less specific in terms of picking that point 1. So if we again take our function f of x equals x squared, here it is again, so still f of x equals x squared, but instead of picking the point 1, 1, I'm going to pick the point x, and x of x squared is just x squared, so that's our y. And then we're going to pick again this point that's got this x plus h. But again, because we don't know what x is, then we're just adding on a plus h onto x. And then x plus h all squared is going to be our y2. Right, now this is where we're going to end up having a little bit more notation come in. Alright, so this is what this is going to give us. This is going to give us our derivative formula. So, or our first derivative of our function. So, if we take our first derivative, which is f dash of x, that's our notation for our first derivative, and we look at the limit as h approaches 0 of f of x plus h minus f of x on, now in general it's just over h, okay, but remember we have to have our x2 minus x1. Technically our x2 is x plus h, that comes from that value there, okay, and our x and our x1 is just x. Now obviously that x and the two x's just cancel out. So in general, when you see the first principles derivative formula, you'll see it written just as over h, but you got to remember that is actually a plus x and a minus x at the end there. So this, again, this formula still comes from y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. From here, our limit as h approaches 0, f of x plus h, in this case, is x plus h all squared, minus f of x, which is just x squared. Right, and again, I'll circle that so you can kind of see where that's coming from. Okay, so that's your x plus h all squared comes from here. And your x squared comes from your y1 there. So it's y2 minus y1. Okay, again, all over h. Okay, and then we're still looking at our limit as h approaches 0. Now it's really important that you write this on every line, okay? Because that limit as h approaches 0 doesn't, even though we kind of did it the other day where it just kind of magically comes in at the end, we're actually approximating h as approximately 0 the whole way through. We just don't apply that until the last step. So we kind of have to keep it in there for every single stage that we do. Right, now from here, our x plus h squared, if you want to, you can expand it out in full as x plus h minus x squared over h. I'd suggest that for you guys at this stage, you should just be knowing that that's going to give you x squared plus 2 times your first and your second values, so 2xh plus h squared minus x squared over h. Now we're working through the exact same process as we did before, so we can cancel out the x squareds. We're left with our limit as h approaches 0 of 2xh plus h squared on h. Okay, and we can cancel out h here, and we're left with our limit as h approaches 0 of 2x plus h. Okay, so I'm just going to have to move on to a new page. No, I can actually just go down, that's all right. Okay, so we've got our limit as h approaches 0. Sorry, that shouldn't have an equal sign, sorry. Right, just let me get organized again. Sorry, that shouldn't have an equal sign there. Okay, so we're looking at our limit as h approaches 0 of 2x plus h. Now, we've eliminated all the other h's, especially that one on the denominator. So we can now just apply that limit as h approaches 0. Once you've applied that, that becomes 0 and we're left with 2x. So that means that f dash of x equals 2x. Okay. Now, if we wanted to, we could find our f dash of 1 like we did before, which is 2 times 1, which is still 2. Okay, so it's exactly the same as what we had in our previous question. We could also find our gradient at x approaches 50, which is going to be 2 times 50. That equals 100. Okay, so that's going to let us find our gradient at absolutely any point on our graph. The other thing I wanted to show you guys, and this was kind of connected to what we were looking at the start of the lesson the other day when I confused you all, is looking at gradient functions. So if we type this in, this x squared, and then I'm going to put in my derivative function, so at this stage I'll just talk you through it because I know you don't have these calculators. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking my derivative of that function above for all values of x, and hopefully we're going to see the graph. So on this graph, I'm just going to zoom out. So we'll go negative 10, 10. Okay, so hopefully what you can see here, there's our y equals x squared function, and here's our derivative of that, and we can see that the turning point and the x-intercept are the same. We should be able to, if we would like, we can find our value for our derivative. Say we want to find 5, okay? We can see there that our derivative is 10, and remember that's 2 times x, so 2 times 5 gives us 10. So we have that value there. We can also see that we're starting off with a quadratic. We're ending up in a linear because we're decreasing the power on that function by 1. Okay, so hopefully this kind of connects it a little bit better, and we're going to talk more about the graphs and things in a couple of videos. But good luck with that, and I hope it makes sense tomorrow. Okay, bye.